right, the last section. Um, the reason I chose this book, I really like this book because it really focuses on health and on the human body. And since this course really is for nursing majors, I'm really going to, at least every chapter, we're going to somehow relate it to health and you know, and into pretty much the careers that you guys want to go into as a nurse. So I believe most of the chapters have a section on this where it focuses on health and medicine. All right. So the when we just talked about the solubility, when you talk about vitamins, you hear this all the time. Is it fat soluble or is it water soluble? Okay, there are two types of vitamins that we need that our bodies do not synthesize. We need to put them inside of our bodies. Okay, so vitamins are organic compounds needed in small amounts for normal cell function. And there's water soluble and there's fat soluble. Okay, so our bodies cannot synthesize these, so we must get them through diet. Examples of things is like vitamin C. Okay, that one is very water soluble. Um, there's a few others that they'll show in here. Okay, so there's fat soluble vitamins. Okay, well now guys, you can look at the structure of the vitamin and you can figure out if it's going to be fat soluble or water soluble just by looking at the structure. Okay, so fat soluble vitamins dissolve in organic solvents but not in water. Okay, fat soluble vitamins have many non-polar carbon-carbon and carbon-hydrogen groups. Very few polar functional groups. Remember, the polar groups are the ones with oxygens and nitrogens on them. Okay, water-soluble vitamins dissolve in water. A perfect one is vitamin C. We'll see the structure of vitamin C. There's lots of OH groups on it. Okay, there's many polar bonds, so you have many oxygens. Remember, there's an oxygen for every 4 carbons at least. All right, vitamin A, retinol. Okay, vitamin A is actually essential for our vision. Okay, carrots have a tremendous amount of vitamin A in it. Okay, it helps maintain the mucous membranes and skin, and here is the structure of vitamin A. So by looking at this, does this make sense? So is this a fat soluble, meaning it dissolves in nonpolar, or is it water soluble, meaning it dissolves in, meaning it's polar? Okay, so remember, nonpolar, just to remind you, but I think you guys got it. Nonpolar means fat soluble. It's soluble in nonpolar. Polar means it's water soluble. Okay, so remember, the fat soluble, lots of carbons and hydrogens. So notice, this whole molecule is carbons and hydrogens with the exception of one OH. Now, remember the 4 carbons for every oxygen rule? Does that fit this rule? Absolutely not. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20 carbons for 1 oxygen. This is so fat soluble, so nonpolar that this is, that's nonpolar. Okay, so this would be a fat soluble vitamin. Soluble. Okay, and again, you can just look at the structure. You don't even have to know what it is, where it comes from. You can just look at it and determine that is going to be fat soluble. Okay, so vitamin A is very large, mostly nonpolar, with one OH group, making it fat soluble. Vitamin C is ascorbic acid. First of all, it has the word acid in it. So what functional group do you think is going to be on this molecule? If you said a carboxylic acid functional group, which remember looks like this, you are correct. I'm hoping you're starting to kind of see how this is all coming together. Okay, this talks about scurvy. We really don't have, I don't think there's a, actually I read in the news like 10 years ago that they did find a boat that was lost at sea for, I don't know, a few weeks, and the people had scurvy on it. They said, we haven't seen scurvy in like 200 years, but that's what happens. That's why you carry fruit with you on at sea. Okay, so here is vitamin C. So look at all the OH groups. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, plus you have oxygens because these can hydrogen bond. So remember, 4 carbons for every oxygen. well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 carbons, okay? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 6 oxygens. So we, without a doubt, are at that, okay? So this, without a doubt, is going to be very polar, water soluble, okay? So it has many polar bonds and many oxygens, making it water soluble. Okay, as far as on the health, just to kind of show you where things are stored, most fat soluble vitamins are stored in our livers, okay, or in our adipose tissue, which is all the fatty tissue. All right, water soluble, like vitamin C, just basically goes right through us. It does get absorbed a little bit into the body, into the bloodstream, but then eventually it goes through and it goes through us. Anyone that takes vitamins, I know when I get sick, and I swear by this, and there is research that supports this, if you take zinc and vitamin C 3 times a day, you will get over your cold much faster. And anytime as soon as I feel a cold that's coming on, I start zinc and vitamin C, and I don't get sick. Within a day and a half to 2 days, I'm fine, and I never get sick. Um, so, however, if you take a lot of vitamins, if you take a lot of vitamin C, you can kind of smell it in your urine after a few hours, and that's because those are the water-soluble vitamins that are coming through you. It's not being absorbed into you. The fatty acid ones, I'm sorry, the fat-soluble vitamins are the ones that get stored inside your body and are kind of in your body for a longer time. All right, so I believe that is it for chapter 11. The way this class works, if I haven't met with you yet, is that every time that we meet, we will do lab as well as go over the information in the lecture material. So please write down any questions you had, anything you don't understand, anything you want to go over again, we will go over in class. All right, see you in class.